Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth, still in South Africa. Just a quick one, a few things that I just want to talk about. Related to South Africa, obviously, as I'm here, so I thought about to talk about them. The main issues, I think I mentioned a few of them already. Obviously, one of them is corruption, which obviously you get everywhere, even in the UK and the US and the West, and wherever you go, you find this corruption. But it's a lot more obvious in South Africa. It seems to be part of, people expect it in the office of government. It's not like a shock, not a big scandal when they find out there's some big, like if you look at ex-President Zuma's case, I'm sure everyone knows about that. So that leads me on to another thing to do with life struggle, how we all accept all these things, no matter where we live, you travel around different places, we all accept the same issues, in the sense that we all vote for people that we wouldn't pick them, they're always old guard trying to keep their system alive, making sure new blood doesn't come in with their radical ideas and change the status quo and upturn the thrones, golden thrones that these, most of these people, even in South Africa, the people are rich, the ones in politics. Despite this, the ANC party being a party of struggle, and you'd think, there you would find, but it still has been corrupted the same way as in the UK with the Labour Party. They claim to stand for people, they claim to stand for all these ideals, and then when they're in power, they don't do them. And they just line their pockets, or the thing is that we don't really understand unless you do a lot of researching, is that a lot of these politicians, they have their hands in other pies, and that's what they're furthering their money through those ways, through contracts. And it's happening everywhere, and we're all accepting it. It is amazing, really. It just shows you how, not gullible, but sheep-like we are, that we all know, especially if you're in South Africa, that the parties, whether it's DA, whether it's EFF, whether it's ANC, there's corruption in all of them. And yet we still will go out, South Africans will still go out and vote for them. The same is like with the Labour and Tory in the UK. We know there's corruption. We know that they're all rich. We know they're all middle class, and they're all, keeping their own riches. You don't get, like I say, a person from the street standing up for us. A person living in a council estate as your prime minister. That is never going to happen. And people probably would say, no, I can never trust that. And then we wonder why we're all in this situation. But the thing is, like, why do we keep on accepting it throughout all the different countries on this planet, these man-made constructs, and we keep accepting all this stuff day in, day out, year in, year out, election after election. The other problem with South Africa is obviously crime and drugs. Well, that's the same in the UK. It's the same everywhere as well, but a lot of it's to do with schooling. But the thing is, in the same as, like I say, in the UK, why is these things never fixed? Everyone knows there's a problem, but no one ever does anything about it. Surely we're meant to be civilized, we're meant to be intelligent. We can't come up with an answer. Like in South Africa, there's a lot of people that fall out of schools, and that's allowed to happen. In the UK, it's not so easy to do that, but it does happen as well. I'm not trying to sort of attack either side. I'm just the thing I'm finding is the same issues. It's just different scales, but the same issues are happening everywhere. And the commonality between all of it is that no one ever sorts anything out. And yeah, people say, oh, that's because it involves money and this, that, and the other. Remember, money is also another man-made construct that's holding us back. That we have to print pieces of leaf from a tree and give it to each other. Well, these days you don't have to, because a lot of the money doesn't actually really exist. It's not based on gold. It's based on it's digital money that no one could ever. If you had to bring all that money that everyone borrows and loans and this, that, and the other, that money doesn't exist. So it's all a game of Monopoly, but we just don't realise it. And the problem is, until people wake up about these things. But the thing is, I see that it's apathy, isn't it? Or just people realise that those people in power keep people happy enough to just carry on. The other thing I was finding out was there was a plant called moringa, I think it's Moringa, which is meant to have a lot of health benefits for different things. But the problem is, because it's a natural thing, it can't be patented, so no drug company is going to touch it. And of course, because they don't, they're the only ones that do all these tests so that it can go on the market. So we'll always be taking all these pills where there could be natural remedies. And you find that when you go to different countries, how they deal with different things, that they don't rush straight away to medicine. Because medicine's about consumerism, about keeping you on these pills forever. But yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if you went to every country on this, in this place, you'd find the same issues everywhere. And I guess we don't always understand each other, that we're all actually facing exactly the same issues. Because we're all in our little countries, and you know, even though these days it obviously is a lot more because of the internet and satellites and television, giving all the, you know, so that we can see everything that's happening everywhere, but a lot of that is controlled in what we see. You know, it's not like me, if I was, you know, doing this, you know, I suppose YouTube is the nearest freedom of expression, in the sense that someone can talk about actually what's happening and show it, whereas when you get it from television companies, well, I don't know whether you can trust exactly, you know, they always have an edge, despite claiming that they don't. Anything, I think I've waffled long enough. The thing I just wanted to say is that it's just a shame that we can't all understand that we're all facing these same issues, and all of us outnumber those who are in control and keeping us in this, with these issues forever. I don't know what we do about it, but something needs to change, isn't it? We can't keep, you know, hundreds of years the same problems and never changing, never becoming more than what we are, because we have everything that we need, but it's just about understanding that, and maybe stop making money out of it, and holding on to things and working together. I know that sounds ideal and utopian, but I think that really is the answer. But that, because the way we're brought up to have this mindset of, you know, you're in this unit, and you know, whether that's your family, whether that's your country, is never going to solve it. Anyway, that's enough for me. Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.